Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, and we're going to do an update to the saga of Peanut the Squirrel. This thing is getting weird. I mean, it was already weird. It was already insane to think that the government could just, barge into your house and kill your pets. And now there's another wrinkle to it. The wrinkle is that the owner, Mark Longo? He actually has an OnlyFans. Him and his wife have OnlyFans, right? And he's apparently there's a theory that the authorities were using the animals as an excuse to get into his house to check out his porn business. Now I'm hearing multiple stories about who ratted Peanut the Squirrel out, or who knocked the domino over that got Peanut killed, and Fred. We can't forget Fred the raccoon. And the running theory was it was another influencer. And apparently someone on Twitter had outed her as a Karen who contacted the state of New York. She was supposed to be from out of state. And she contacted the authorities in New York. And they investigated, and then that ended with the death of the animals. And her name was floating around. I don't know for 100% if that's been verified. So that's why people are like, why aren't you saying her name? Because I don't know for 100%. The person who originally posted that information apparently talked to her, but as of my recording this, I don't know if it was 100% for certain verified, but the name was floating around, and there was another woman on TikTok that had a similar name, not the same, and she was getting harassed over it. But there's God, this is just this whole situation. I don't know how it's going to end. I do know that it's definitely going to end in court or go to court. And I absolutely would sue too. And I wouldn't be surprised if we wound up with new laws because of it. But let's see what TMZ has to say here. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, guys. Go out to Clownfish Minus, join our Plus Club, help us try to shore up our presence off of YouTube, because I am highly concerned about YouTube. And in fact, I've got another podcast coming tonight talking about the future of the internet. And it's not looking too good. We need a major change. The internet is definitely becoming a lot smaller, and we have a handful of corporations controlling it. And that should scare you. It should scare you. There is no more free and open internet like there used to be. So yeah, check it out, clownfishminus.com. This comes from TMZ. All of these articles are coming from TMZ, by the way. Peanut the Squirrel sources think authorities were after prawn, not the animals. The agencies that raided a New York farm and seized Peanut the Squirrel were actually there because some officials had a problem with porn. That's what some sources connected to the drama believe. They said, as we reported, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and the Chemung County Health Department got a search warrant and showed up at Mark Longo's farm last week, seizing Peanut and Fred the raccoon under the pretext that Longo broke the law by harboring two undomesticated animals. But here's the deal. Mark tells TMZ when officials showed up, they asked questions that had nothing to do with the animals. Mark says one of the first questions was, do you have any cameras in your house? They said this seems telling because Mark and his wife are big on OnlyFans and have done porn on the platform. Mark and his wife also babysit. Okay, this is where it's gonna take a turn. There's more to this story. Mark and his wife also babysit for some of their neighbors' children, and some of the sources we've spoken with think the reference to cameras is evidence the XXX rated material was on the minds of officials. Mark tells us, I think there's an ulterior motive here, and it seems it has to do with my spicy social media presence, especially since other than taking the animals, they took no action against me. As we reported, authorities euthanized Peanut, even though there was proof the squirrel didn't have rabies. He'd bitten Mark several times, and he never showed any symptoms. Yeah, people are saying that squirrels, I don't know if squirrels get rabies, or if they do, it's very, very rare. Raccoons, on the other hand, yeah. I mean, for sure. But people were like, yeah, they could have observed them. They could have taken them. I mean, this is what's so infuriating about this, is even if they were raiding his house looking for porn, they could have taken the animals someplace else until they sorted all this out. They did not have to destroy them. It's disgusting. They did not have to destroy the animals. They could have taken them to a sanctuary. They could have taken them to a zoo. They could have, something until they got sorted and he got his papers or whatever. They did not have to kill the animals. Peanut has been an essential element of Mark's social media success in raising money for his animal rescue org. And there's this, although the search warrant says there was no probable cause to believe Mark committed a crime, he was issued no citation or other violation of the law and nothing, but they killed Peanut anyway. I mean, this should scare you. I mean, regardless of whether or not they went to his house because they thought he was up to no good. He had a lot of cameras. Everybody knew he did porn. And he's babysitting kids, right? So people could be putting all that together and be like, oh my God, what's going on over there? The government does not have a right to break into your house and kill your pets. I mean, and people are just like, well, it's okay. The squirrel deserved it because it's a MAGA squirrel. I'm like, the fuck? How would you like if somebody just like walked in your house and shot your dog? I mean, it does happen, right? If a dog's barking at a cop or something, your dog can get shot. We've worried about that. Our dog Charlie is definitely a barker, and he's part sled dog, and so he's built. He's stacked, right? He's got an 8-pack. Well, it's more like a unipack now. He's getting older, and he's eating too many cookies. Anyway, he's still a tank, right? And he barks a lot. And yeah, if somebody came into the house, a cop came into the house, and we weren't home, and he was barking, they might shoot him, But I mean, there's a big difference between that, though, and just like walking in your house, ransacking your house for hours, and then killing your pets. And people are cool with it. They're just like, yeah, well, he probably deserved it. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? He said no one from any of the agencies even contacted him. So this is another article. They put up like several. Peanut the Squirrel. So this is the saga of Peanut the Squirrel on TMZ. I'm not using tragedy to promote porn. No kids involved either. Mark Longo says he's not using the tragedy and controversy surrounding Peanut the Squirrel to drum up subscriptions for his porn page. Peanut's owner joined us on TMZ Live Monday, told us he thinks his OnlyFans is the reason his farm got raided in the first place. He says authorities asked him if he had any cameras in his house, a strange question since they were only there because he broke the law by harboring 2 undomesticated animals. Instead, Mark believes someone who had an issue with him shooting porn with his wife and separately babysitting some of their neighbors' kids complained about him to the authorities, leading to last week's raid. Mark's theory, officials used the animals as a way to get into his home and dig up dirt on his porn biz. Peanut was seized in the raid and euthanized, even though there was proof Peanut didn't have rabies. The case is getting a lot of attention, so is Mark, who is big on OnlyFans. Mark says folks who think he's trying to capitalize on the moment and promote his OnlyFans have him all wrong. Ditto for people who think the kids he babysits were somehow involved in the side hustle. He says everything he did with his wife on camera is perfectly legal, and he's right. And he thinks it's a shame Peanut had to die because his porn isn't everyone's cup of tea. Mark tells us the search warrant says there was probable cause to believe he committed a crime, but he wasn't arrested or issued a citation or anything. So he's lawyering up. He's got a lawyer. Of course he does. I don't know, guys. This whole thing just stinks. And I'm sure there's going to be more coming out. I'm not following it super, super close. But, this is definitely government overreach. Barging into someone's house, killing their pets. Even if it had... even if it was connected to what they thought he might be doing with those cameras, right? It didn't warrant killing the pets. You take the pets and you take them to, again, an animal sanctuary or something. You don't kill them. You don't kill the pets. So I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Please subscribe. Stay safe out there. Tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen. I got to tell you. I mean, I know everybody thinks I'm being Debbie Downer, but we've got several years of... history, recent history to go by, and I don't know what's gonna go down here in the States tomorrow night. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later. Join the reef. Go to clownfishminus.com. That's clownfishminus.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt, on our website. You'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfish-.com. Thank you so much for the support.